Hello, everybody. Hi. Can you see my adult drink? It's like a reason, everyone. Hi, everybody. Welcome to, literally, how's everyone doing? Let's start off there. How is everyone doing? I'm not doing very good, if anyone's wondering. But, hello. I would say welcome back to, literally, but that's no. Literally started back in the day, 2 years ago. And it lasted a solid 40 minutes. That was it. Just one episode. So, we're going to retry this. And I'm very excited. And I'm very excited to really get this show on the road. This process, I feel like, is going to be a lot easier just because I have a lot of people really supporting me and making sure this process goes as smoothly as possible. My only responsibility was really just sitting here and talking, which is all I wanted in life. That's all I dream of. So I'm very excited to have that be my job for the next couple of however long you guys want this to be. Anyways, so quick introduction to who I am. Hi everyone, I am Airam. I am a social media influencer. Wrong, because I haven't posted on YouTube in 8 months. So no, I'm not a social media influencer. I'm a podcaster now. Me being a big fat liar. I'm like one podcast in. I'm like, yeah, I'm a podcaster. No. Anyways, so I am a 20-year-old college student. Ew, that's literally the worst duo in the whole entire world. 20 years old and in college. I have been in college for now 2 years. So I'm very excited to kind of really get to know or really let you guys know how that's been going. But just gonna give you guys a quick life update. How am I doing? Like I said before, I've seen better days. I'm just joking. It's summertime, and I'm excited to kind of. This is pretty much one of my last summers. This is my last summer. I have one more, but no. But this is my last summer, officially, before I need to grow up. And I feel like a lot of people do their growing up, when they're 16, 17, 18. I'm now 20 years old and never had a job before. Round of applause for a girl who's never had a job before. Not a flex at all. My resume is actually humiliating. It's literally empty. All I can write on there is a YouTuber. Who's hiring a YouTuber? If anybody knows, I already looked on LinkedIn and nobody's looking for a YouTuber right now. So if anybody needs a YouTuber, that's all I really have to offer. Which is sad. Continue on with... Am I okay? So much support. I announced that I was doing a podcast today on my Instagram story, and a lot of people are supporting hard. Big time. Which is very exciting. Anyways, continuing on. Like I said, yes, I am growing up. You guys knew me at 14 years old, which is absolutely insane. Literally 14. I am now 20. 20. I'm about to be 21 in 6 months, which is interesting. I get to have my first sip of alcohol ever. I'm joking. But yes, I get to have my first sip of alcohol in my whole entire life in just 6 months, just 6 short months. So that's something I'm looking forward to in this coming year. And yeah, I really just have been slacking on the YouTube situation solely because I'm a big fat loser and I am so hold on. Okay, also you guys are going to learn that I'm a degenerate. Literally degenerate. So I'm self-destructive and I had such a good thing going for me and I ruined it. Like a lot of things in life that I also have ruined. Anyways, that's all just going to be part of the show. But seriously, I had such a good thing going for me and I decided to put it on hold, which I don't regret at all because school is very important and I prioritized school. Silence. I prioritized school over social media, which I do think it was a mature decision. Could I have done both? Absolutely. Did I do both? Not at all. Which sucks, but whatever. So yeah, Also COVID. I did not have any inspiration. I was doing Chloe Ting and making that damn coffee and going on hikes just constantly. So where was the inspiration in that? Absolutely nowhere. I was so uninspired and so bored with life. Then I just got into the habit of just being bored with my life. So YouTube just did not come along. And if you guys follow me on YouTube, you guys know I have not posted on YouTube in 8 months. So embarrassing. That channel is literally collecting dust, but not anymore, boys and girls. Not anymore. We are changing and we are progressing and growing, which I'm very excited. I'm also going to be honest with you guys. This is my second take, and my first take was fun and I sounded mature. Okay, I'm lying. That never happens. I sounded a little bit better. This time around, I feel a lot more comfortable, which I think is my goal for this podcast. I want to be very raw with you guys, and I want to make sure that you guys really get to know this different side of me. And you're probably asking, what side are you talking about? This side. I have been on camera since I was 14 years old, which is insane, and I'm not 20. Like I've said 90 times already. But I've been on camera since I was 14. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I censored myself quite a bit. And it was never necessarily because I felt like I needed to or anybody asked me. No, it's because I felt like I needed to. But nobody ever asked me to. That was my personal decision to censor myself, which I think was perfect because nobody needs to know what's going on in a 15-year-old's life to the full extent. I mean, there really wasn't anything going on like that crazy. I was going to high school and I had a boyfriend. That was literally it. So, I think I kept a good, healthy balance, but not anymore. Those walls are coming straight down, and we're going to really get to dive deep into who I really am. And I am very excited. But this mentality stemmed from some girl, a viewer, not some girl. She was the sweetest girl ever, and she had her life together. She had a kid and was older than me by a couple years, and was engaged. I barely am getting boys to talk back to me, Snapchat me back on Snapchat. Okay, she wasn't engaged and she was 22. Literally nobody responds to me. But okay, anyways, so she was telling me how crazy it was that I was so normal, which is what? If you know me, you know that there's nothing more in life that I hate than people talking about my YouTube. And it's not because I'm embarrassed. I'm actually quite proud of it, but it's never been something that I wanted to flex. Was it ever a flex? I'm not sure. But it was never something I really wanted to make a big deal. So I was like, what do you mean? She was like, you're just so humble and you're so da 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 da. I was like, wait, you don't it's just crazy to think that a lot of people don't consider me normal, which I get it because I was on the other side of the screen. I am on the other side of the screen. I love watching influencers, and guilty pleasure, but not guilty at all, because that's I love it. But it's just crazy to think that a lot of people don't really think of me as exactly how their life is. Maybe sometimes even worse. I'm just joking. I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful for my life. But yes, I'm very normal, guys. I have boy problems and I make horrible decisions. I make horrible decisions sometimes, but yes, I have my own life and I do teenager things. I go out and I hang out with my friends and I have boy problems and I cry about boys and my phone's vibrating. Yes, I have boy problems and I'm just very, 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 very normal, and I just really am excited to let you guys know that part of my life, just because obviously that part was never introduced to you guys, and it's not necessarily, like I said before, because anybody told me not to act like myself. My producers, my ADHD, I need to stop touching the mic. My producers were probably the best producers I could have ever really been with. Since I was 14, I really pretty much grew up with the same crew. Hold on, my nephew's yelling. And if you guys hear him, just keeps it real. Just keeps it a little bit real. But since I was 14, I pretty much had the same people around me until I rapped at 19 years old. And they have been the best people that I could have surrounded myself with. And I know a lot of people in LA say, oh my god, the producers are so toxic and all this stupid shit, but I don't agree. My producers were beautiful and awesome, and my camera people and my sound and everybody was just perfect, and they taught me so much about life, more than just YouTube, and I could just go on and on about them. So it was never them, it was just my personal preference to kind of not really be my full self. And I just really chose podcasting because I felt like I could be very raw with you guys and connect with you guys without having to be like, LOL, this is the vlog for my week. This week I'm going shopping, and this week I'm going to go to school, and then I'm going to go to dinner, and then I'm going to hang out with friends. Like, nobody really cares what you're doing throughout the week. Unless you do, then I will post that. But I just think that this gives us an opportunity to kind of come closer together and really get to know each other a little bit more and really get to know me. Unless you just like hate me and you don't really want to get to know me, then I totally get it. But for now, I mean, it's just cool. So I also can like literally talk to myself all day long. Even though I hate being alone more than life, I could really sit here and talk to myself like all day. So this is also going to work perfectly. But a little bit about this podcast and what you guys are going to be getting. Did you hear my nephew? My English is probably as advanced as his. All he says is ow and dog and agua. Why did I say it like a whitewashed little girl? Agua. Thank you. English and Spanish, bilingual. Continuing on, what this podcast is really going to be about. I have no idea, quite honestly, which I am not mad about. Like I mentioned earlier, I have really not much of a structure to my life. Everything in my life is very unknown, which gets old sometimes. But I just think that if I keep it the same way, it's going to be a lot realer and a lot more authentic to who I really am. And again, no structure. I do know that I don't want to make this podcast. I'm going to grab the mic, and if it burns your guys' ears, I'm sorry. My Capri Sun's like, hey, I can never drink me. No, girl. Anyways, continuing on. When I talk to people about this podcast, they sat there and were like, what's it going to be about? And I had no idea, and I don't know really how to answer that question. I just kind of want to go with the flow for right now. I don't think this podcast will ever really be a fully structured podcast of I talk about, I just think it's going to be a little bit of everything, which I think is going to give everybody the same opportunity to kind of connect with this podcast and have the same, just have all the same opportunities and interests within the podcast. Is that even making sense? Do you know what I mean? We're just going to be talking about different things every single week, and I do know that I do want guests sooner or later, hopefully sooner, because I know you guys love having or seeing YouTubers or whatever people collab. But I do want guests. I don't think I necessarily want this podcast to be completely guest based, solely because I don't want to be reliable or dependent on having someone sitting here to the right of me every single week. And of course I'm gonna love when people come on, but I also think that having that true connection with you guys is more important than having the next big TikToker. Continuing on, I'm going to be having Q&As at the end of every single podcast, which I'm very excited about because it gives me I keep saying this, but it gives me the opportunity for you and I to connect. And along with the Q&As, I really want to do an advice, maybe episodes or portions within the podcast. If it's a certain topic I'm gonna be talking about, I want to make sure you guys are a part of that and need advice on something. I would consider myself pretty good at giving advice, to be honest with you. Is my mic even on? Oh, it is. I would consider myself pretty good at giving advice. For the most part, I'm horrible at taking advice. I just do the opposite of what somebody's telling me to do, which isn't always great. But yes, horrible at taking advice. Great at giving advice. So that is going to be a way for you and I to connect. And if the advice is bad, like, don't take it. But if it's good, then take it. And if it works, recommend your friends. And if it doesn't, also recommend your friends, and maybe it'll work for them. Who knows? Also, for this podcast, you guys are going to have a lot of say and a lot of input on what you guys want to see and who you guys want to see and what you guys want to talk about. So that is all going to circle right back around to my Instagram. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I'm not doing this necessarily to get some clout, but, like, you know, it might be nice. So follow me on Instagram. It is Airam Gallegos, which is crazy. Gallegos, 2 S's at the end of Gallegos. If you guys did not know, my username was Queen Airam for like 4 years, maybe 5. Like, Queen Airam, period. Like, why was my name Queen Airam? So I came to the realization, you know, it was cute at 14, 15, like 16, like 17, 18, like, it's still a little questionable, but, like, okay, you're still a teen. 19, okay, like, still a teen. 20. There's no reason why a 20-year-old needs to have Queen in her name. So I had that realization just a couple weeks ago, and I changed Queen Airam. She has retired, unless I change her back and you guys love it. She's retired for now, or forever. Hopefully forever. I think we just gotta take the high road and just go with the name, girl. We don't need Queen Airam. And I didn't even spell it right, which also is very, very unfortunate that I couldn't spell Queen right. I'm just joking. I didn't choose to not spell it right. I just wanted to be a little different. But, like, nobody needed Queen Airam in her name. Anyways. Alright, guys. Who I want as guests? You may be asking. Anybody. Like, literally anybody. Like, my dog could come on and be, like, talking. I'm just joking. Like, I have, like, dog with a blog on. No. I kind of want a little bit of everything on this podcast. I want to make sure that this podcast stays very true to who I am, which means you guys might not always know the guests that you have. You guys might not always know the guests that are on the podcast, which I think is completely fine. Like I said, would rather have my sister and my brother and my parents and my, like, oldest sister that, like, is literally so smart too. All my sisters are so smart. I don't know where the genes, like, I didn't get those. But I would love to have all my family members on, obviously all my friends on. Just because they don't have hundreds of thousands of followers does not mean that they aren't just as funny, if not funnier, than a little Huddy to the right of me. I'm just joking. Little Huddy's like, I'm not even here, girl. But yeah. I also would love the LEQ girls to come on. Not necessarily all together, because I know that would be a shit show. But one by one, I would love for them to come on and kind of give me a life update and see where they're at mentally, emotionally, physically. Shani, I would love for her to be on. I'm just, like, kind of name dropping right now, just to maybe pressure them, ? Ooh, that might be a good tactic. But I would love for Shani to come on the show, just because her and I pretty much grew up together and kind of were just pushed in front of the camera. We're saying push, like, we didn't ask to be in front of the camera. But I would love her. I would love Alyssa. I would love Eileen. Eileen and I together is so much fun. And Victoria is just, like, at a whole different part in her life, which is amazing. She's doing great. Vivian, I really haven't talked to her, but I know, like, if I called her right now, but, like, can you come help me? She would, in a heartbeat, which I love friends like that. But yeah, I would love all the girls to come on. I do want guests that I necessarily am not comfortable with. Like, I don't know, not that I'm not comfortable with, but that I don't know, just to kind of step out of my comfort zone as well, which I think is very important. Yeah. I feel like I've literally just talked like 700 minutes per hour. Continuing on with my life, I go to college. I am a junior now in college, and I love it. and I would never take those moments back in my whole entire life. Although it kind of steered me away from YouTube, I think I learned a lot more than I would have if I was sitting here in front of a camera for the past 2 years of my life, which I'm so grateful about that I took the decision. I go to school in Arizona. I am majoring in communications, and who knows what I'm going to do with the major. Thankfully, I chose a major that is broad and gives me the opportunity to kind of have full range, which is very important and makes, my plans a little bit less intimidating, maybe. I just love Arizona. I love Arizona, but I love California always. California will always be home. Arizona doesn't have Oh my god, I literally just said Arizona doesn't have bitches. Arizona doesn't have beaches, girl. We don't have beaches in Arizona, which is horrible. So that's why I'll always be a California girl, because the beach is my favorite place ever. I'm still like so single. Although I don't want a boyfriend, and like I obviously have been dating, like when I say dating, I just mean like talking. So I obviously have been dating around for the past 2 years. And also, if you guys did not know, yes, my ex-boyfriend and I did break up in October of 2019, maybe. But him and I are still friends, so don't worry. But yes, I have been dating around and getting to know people and getting to know more guys, which is always, always so much fun. Not necessarily that I'm looking for anybody, but I mean, it's just fun to go on dates and talk to boys and get your heart broken a couple times. Not necessarily saying that I got my heart broken, because I don't think I've ever liked anybody enough. No, I mean, like not like that, like my dating boyfriends. No, I'm like totally like not. I'm speaking out of my ass right now. I'm saying none of my situationships have been serious enough for me to get my heart broken. Except a couple of them. I'm kidding. No, I'm having a lot of fun. I think this is the perfect age. My dog literally won't shut up. Okay. My age right now is perfect for dating. Not necessarily saying that's like my only focus in life, but it's important to kind of get to know people and, do your thing. All right, guys, so starting off with question number 1, like I said, I'm not going to be doing every single question just because I kind of want to leave it throughout the weeks. I might just do like 3 or 4, maybe. I'm not sure. Let's get into it, though. And again, if you guys are not following me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me on there. You will be able to be a part of every single Q&A or advice session that I have. And you can submit anything you guys really want. I don't really care. I'll just do whatever you guys want me to do. First question. Are you dating anyone? Like I said before, no, I'm not looking for a relationship right now until I get bored, and then I just like suddenly want 4 boyfriends and to be taken out to dinner. Are you talking to anyone? Yes. Of course I'm talking to people. Yes, I am talking to somebody. I don't really know. I mean, that's it. Yes, of course. I mean, not of course. I could be without a boyfriend, but I guess I'm talking to people and I'm having a lot of fun. And it's very interesting to get to know new people. How's managing your social medias and being a student? Like I said before, it's not very easy being able to do both side of things. At least on my part, because I'm horrible at multitasking just to begin with. So managing both things was not my forte. What does forte mean? I'm not really sure, but I do think I used it in the right way. Unless I didn't, but just pretend I did. My mom asked, how do you maintain a good relationship with your parents? My mom and I are very close. My dad and I are also very close. I just think my relationship with my parents is very different from what my siblings had. Only because I'm the youngest kid, and I just feel like I don't talk back to my parents. I am very good about not being disrespectful to them. I mean, my siblings did have their flaws, I'm gonna have to admit, but I kind of learned from their mistakes, which was the benefit of being the youngest sibling, because you get to watch. I had 3 other siblings ahead of me, so I got to watch all of their mistakes, and apply it to my life and just know what not to do and know what to do. So, I mean, any advice on having a good relationship with your parents? I just think it's having a trust and being able to, I just tell my parents everything. Like, every single time I'm talking to a new guy, I'm like, oh my God, guess who I'm talking to? Da 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 da. And they're like, and then they end up finding his like mom's address and like finding out everything, which is so great because I don't have to do the work. So, I don't know, it's pretty cool. Anyways, continuing on. Will you and the Quince girls meet up anytime soon? I'm sure we will. We don't have any set plans. I do kind of try to make it a effort to see them whenever I'm home. So I do think it will happen soon. Hopefully they'll come on the podcast. You guys blow up their DMs and be like, please get on, like, literally. We would love to hear you talk. So please blow up their DMs. Continuing on, are you Catholic? I am Catholic. I was raised Catholic and I did my baptism and my first communion and my confirmation. And yeah. I need advice on how to pick what to study once you get older. I have pretty much kind of known that I wanted to continue with something on social media and continue with communications. Well, communications was the only major that really meshed with what I wanted to do in life. I'm not going to say it necessarily came easy because I was questioning whether I wanted to either go into criminal justice or do communication. So it wasn't necessarily easy, but I have been doing this for so long now, which is the reason that I'm very grateful that I got the opportunities that I got since I was 15. Because, it made my decision a little bit easier because obviously I enjoy this. So, I just kind of knew, even though I didn't. And maybe it'll change. Who knows? Where can I find the podcast? I think you can find this podcast on Apple Music and Spotify. And that's it. Like, what else are you guys using? SoundCloud? Like, I do use SoundCloud sometimes. But what else are people using? Like, we're in 2021. Spotify or Apple Music. I feel like we're choosing between the two. Really, I think we've, like, dialed all. Why do I keep saying that? I do think that we have chosen our main two, and everybody choose one of the two. I personally am an Apple Music type of girl, but also I have Spotify, so I don't know. I do think the podcast is going to be on both streaming services. I will let you guys know next episode where else you can find it. Obviously, this is, if I didn't mention this already, a video and audio podcast. So if you want to hear me, you can just listen to me on Spotify or Apple Music. And if you want to see me, you could see me on YouTube. And if you want to do both, I would appreciate that more than life. Continuing on, how do I maintain friendships? I have lost a lot of friends since high school, which I think is completely okay. It's okay to drift apart from people and not really see people. I'm not necessarily saying that any of my friendships that I don't have were because of something messy, but I just grew a little bit quicker than them. And I think that's really cool for me, that I kind of got the experience to get out of my hometown and have a life of my own. I have a lot of friends still at home, but I make sure to prioritize the friends that have stuck by my side since the very start over some friends that I hung out with a couple times in high school. You know what I mean? So it's totally okay to lose friends. Your life will continue. Their life will continue. And don't worry. Do not worry. Last question, I think. How did my second year of college go? My second year of college went better than my first. And I had some time to reflect on this question. I think this is why I wanted to end on this question, because it's one that we can go a little bit more in depth about. Not too long, because we're going to have to wrap this up very soon. But I think my freshman year of college, I was very insecure, which is totally normal. And I think a lot of people need to start admitting. I do think I was very insecure just because I had gotten out of a breakup. Wah, wah, wah. Your life is so hard. I was put in a whole new environment, which was Arizona, and I was 300 and something miles away from my family, which I have never been a part of them. I was forced to make new friends, which I have never had to do. So it was a whole year of insecurity. Also, I chopped off my hair last year. which made me so much more insecure because I was so ugly with short hair. Continuing on, I hated it. Wait, no, I hated my hair, not my freshman year. I hated my hair, but the friends I did make my freshman year are probably the realest friends I will have my whole entire life. The 3 that I left off with, I started off with like 5, and I left off with 3. Quality over quantity, right? Anyways, the 3 friends I really had my freshman year were absolutely perfect. I did have another friend, and she was absolutely amazing. We just drifted apart. No bad blood. I love her face. If she ever asked me to hang out, I probably still would. But seriously, the friends that I have right now, I know that they're like so good. So, I mean, I'm not necessarily going to say I like regret not putting myself out there, but I don't know, it just taught me a lot. And I think reflecting on the fact that I was very insecure my freshman year and like so confused on like what I was doing with my life kind of made it hard to really indulge in the whole experience. Was that even English? I have no idea. And then also COVID just ended my freshman year super easy, like early. Not actually, just like a couple weeks early, but COVID ended my year early, and I don't really know, you guys. I mean, second the best, right? I do think my sophomore year, I learned a lot about myself as well. I got to talk to a lot of new people and meet a lot of new people and just get to know myself on a different level, which I appreciate and wouldn't really trade it for the world. But that is pretty much it, you guys. I wanted to kind of end it on that. No, a little bit depressing. I'm like, oh yeah, I was super insecure. No, girl, I'm still dealing with the situation. A little bit better now though, for sure. But that was depressing. I'm like, okay guys, so I'm gonna go cry now. I'll be right back. No, but seriously, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, whether you're on Apple Music or Spotify or YouTube. Hi, YouTube. Sorry, I really haven't been making much eye contact with you. Make me a little bit nervous sometimes. But I am super excited to continue on with this podcast and just kind of let you guys know a little bit more about, my life and how we're really doing over here in the Southern California. But, okay. We're going to have to wrap this up soon, guys. I love your faces. Please go ahead and follow me on Instagram and DM me Literally. Please don't DM me hate because I probably will start crying. But DM me literally anything you guys want me to talk about on the podcast or guests or questions or any advice that you guys want me to kind of, focus on. But for now, I appreciate you guys a lot, and I thank you if you're still listening, thank you so much. I probably would shut it off if I were you. I'm just joking. I'm so funny. I'm kidding. But seriously, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I literally appreciate you so much. But that's it for this week. I will see you guys again next week. Goodbye.